I made him extra sloppy. What movie is that from? Is getting really sloppy around these parts. And y'all don't hear me though. Golden Boy has insisted they are still down to make Vergil Ortiz versus Boots fight, but a couple things are in the way. In this video, I'm gonna give you guys the update, like only Boxingego can do. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, things are getting real chippy. It's like one of those fights where you're watching a boxing fight and the fighters are tussling, wrestling, people are getting thrown to the ground and stepped on and falling into the ropes, and the referee's trying to break them. This is that type of fight, but instead of it being in the ring, it is outside of the ring. And I'm going to take you through there. Golden Boy, despite their latest filing, they are saying they're still down to make the fight for Vergil Ortiz in Boots. Golden Boy insists via legal filing willingness to still assist in finalizing the Ortiz Boots bout, right? Ortiz, as I previously reported, he's bound by a TRO, a temporary restraining order, obtained by Golden Boy that prevents him from moving forward with the above-mentioned clash, the Boots fight, without Golden Boy's involvement. However, Golden Boy is now on record in a court of law in his willingness to help finalize terms for the battle of the unbeaten junior middleweights. I make this declaration in support of Golden Boy's supplemental brief regarding bond amount in support of emergency motion for the TRO, the temporary restraining order. That's President of Golden Boy Eric Gomez, in a legal supplemental declaration that Boxing Scene has now obtained. Notwithstanding Golden Boy's ongoing dispute with the plaintiff, Vergil Ortiz, Golden Boy remains ready and willing. Steady, are you ready? However do you want it? However do you need it? However do you want it? Right? Ready and willing. Ready or not, here I come. You can't fight. Right? They said they're ready and willing to represent Vergil Ortiz in negotiations in a fight with Jaron Ennis. Quote, even after Golden Boy discovered that Ortiz's manager, Rick Mirigan, was having direct communications with third parties regarding the fight, Golden Boy remained committed to its representation of Vergil Ortiz with the respective fight. In the declaration, President of Golden Boy, Eric Gomez, would guarantee Ortiz's purse of $3 million plus any promotional upside. The judge in the matter that issued the TRO of the District Court of Nevada granted a February 13th ruling. Ortiz's side has until close of business Tuesday, February 17th, to file a motion of opposition, in which case Golden Boy would have to respond by the next business day. Now, that's today, as of me recording the video. A hearing between both parties is scheduled for Friday at the Vegas courthouse. More crucial to Golden Boy's future is the company's ability to renew its output deal with DAZN. Golden Boy has dealt exclusively with the over-the-top platform since 2018. However, their relationship has been rocky ever since Canelo, baby, left Golden Boy in the pandemic, after which each renegotiation period has become a contentious battle, right? Golden Boy's latest deal with DAZN expired last year, December 31st, a point of contention mentioned in Ortiz's lawsuit, which is argued is grounds to terminate the fight. It was recently learned by Golden Boy's staff, however, that Ortiz's side was negotiating on their own and appeared dangerously close to getting the fight over the line. But then attorneys for Golden Boy then filed the temporary restraining order, TRO, request to prevent an announcement that wouldn't include the company in the fight promotion. Boom. And there we have it. You never know. Early 2026, I exchanged emails with Ortiz's manager, Rick Marinigan, articulating Golden Boy's negotiating position, notated Eric Gomez, president. In submitted written proof, according to court records, also, quote, also in early January, Golden Boy's counsel, Ricardo, sent a letter to Ortiz's counsel, Gregory Smith, confirming Golden Boy offered a $3 million guarantee plus upside for the Ennis fight. Blah, blah, blah. Number 1, Exhibit C, I declare under penalty of perjury under the foregoing is true and correct, executed, yada, yada, yada. So let me break this down for you good people in layman's terms, right? The link for the article will be in the description. You got a couple battles. This is Leonardo DiCaprio movie. One battle after another. That's a bar. Subscribe. You got a couple things going on. Vergil Ortiz grew impatient or whatever is going on. And his manager, Rick Marinigan, they went AWOL and they were trying to get their own fight done. And snake Golden Boy. That's what this reads, right? So they're like, Oscar's on his own thing, Golden Boy's on their own. We want the Boots fight. So they were independently, according to the paperwork, allegedly trying to get the fight done. They were to the point where they were getting close to an announcement, likely with Boots' promoter, Rematch Room, and Eddie Hearn. And then Oscar had to step in and pause that and freeze them out until this gets sorted out and situated in court. So he filed for a temporary restraining order, TRO, and that's where we're at. So Ortiz's side, they have until today, probably court close of business, to file a motion to explain why that shouldn't be the case. And then if they do, then Oscar has until tomorrow in order to respond to it. See, the courts is procedural, boom, boom, boom. We filed this, we appealed this, it's just very structured. So everybody gets their say if you're punctual and you fall within the guided timelines. So this is getting real interesting. And it raises a lot of questions. And I told you guys when this first started, there is more than meets the eye. And y'all didn't want to believe me. Even though I'm the best in the business and it's not even close, y'all was just blaming Golden Boy. But there's bigger things at play. Rick Marinigan also took to his social media and said the fight to make the fight as the prior 2 times Ortiz accepted. See, none of that matters. It don't matter if he accepted in the past or whatever. You're trying to get the fight done now. That should tell the world what they need to know, shut the morons up, Twitter lawyers, basement journalists, haters, even though blah, 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 the facts on their own. What's your take on the fight to make if it happens, and what happens Friday when the judge decides? I will reserve my thoughts for a later time. So for me, this post is like a waste of time. Me, if I've been on the internet for many, many years, getting this money, getting to the chicken, right? For me, I try not to post if I don't really got nothing to say. That's me personally. This, you're not really saying nothing. This is all, you have to wait until the judge decides what's the next step is and that. So what's the point of putting all this, Twitter lawyers and basement journalists and blah, 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 and then not even taking a stance, talk about, I will reserve my thoughts for a later time. Why not speak on it? I mean, what's the point of putting this out if you don't really got nothing to say? That's my opinion. So back to it. We'll see how it plays out. But for me, it's getting very chippy and very interesting because Golden Boy is alleging that Rick Morinigan, the manager of Vergil Ortiz, was trying to cut them out the deal. Now, again, a lot of you could listen to me, the person that's been doing it, the person giving you the highest quality available, or you could listen to the mumble rap content creators. I never gave you the mumble rap. I gave you straight bars, lyricism, poetry, right? Cadence. I didn't just talking about shit up. I ain't never got on here capping and gave you the mumble rap. There's a lot of mumble rap content creation where people act like they know what's going on, think they know what's going on, but they don't really know a bunch of bloated intros and outros, and then the whole content be fillers. It don't really be nothing. And then they going to Facebook groups and trying to skim articles to try to find out what's going on. They don't even take the time to properly research the information. So it's on you as a fan. I don't really care. I'm going to get paid regardless. But a lot of people were quick to point the finger at Golden Boy and De La Hoya. Oh, they just don't want the Vergil Ortiz fight. This is low-hanging fruit. This is deeper than that. The issue is De La Hoya, according to this new article, Golden Boy is taking a stance. We will make the Boots fight. We don't want to get cut out of the fight. And I think, to me, that's a fair positioning. That's a fair positioning. You help build this kid's whole career up, right? You help build his whole career up. And then because, I don't know, things weren't moving on somebody else's timeline, they're trying to ex-nay and cut you out the spot and then make a fight where they get all the money and Eddie Hearn and Rematch Room get it. I mean, let's be real. We have to see how it plays out and what information and evidence is presented. But I would be mad too. If I blew something up and then people try to snake me out of my position, I would be hot. So I know a lot of people in boxing, they're emotional. So they're looking at it from the standpoint of Vergil and Boots, I want to see the fight and I need someone to blame, right? So now that the boxing politics and the business is getting in the way of the fight, people aren't really researched and they're just looking for like somebody to blame. But as I've presented throughout this whole video, it's deeper than just pointing the finger and blaming someone. You got to look at all of the actual facts. And what would you do if you were Golden Boy and you worked with Vergil Ortiz since 2016, 2018, helped blossom his career, and then you made whatever stances, and then they're like, you know what? We'll work with Eddie directly. And then according to the Golden Boy paperwork, they're saying that Rick Morinigan was shopping and like talking to Zuffa Boxing and Matchroom and other people without Golden Boy. So that's kind of treacherous, you know? And keeping Golden Boy out the loop, I could definitely understand why they would be mad. Now, if there's evidence to support that and whatever the judge decides, that remains to be seen. But I would be in the same position as Oscar at this space. Is like, huh? And here's the other thing. Golden Boy is already kind of in the proverbial hot seat with DAZN because they lost Canelo. So DAZN probably looked at Golden Boy as less valuable. You don't have Canelo anymore. We could work with Canelo directly through Turkey or, you know, as a free agent. What do we need you for? So Ryan is about to fight Barrios. We'll see how that play out. But at the end of the day, Golden Boy as a company, they don't really have a home after December 31st, right? They don't have an actual platform to call their home. So losing a major player that they have, like a Vergil Ortiz and or a big fight, makes them less attractive. Why should DAZN renew their contract if Eddie Hearn gets the credit and makes the boots fight with Vergil Ortiz because Vergil Ortiz is trying to get out of his Golden Boy contract? You hear me? You feel me? So Golden Boy is hanging on by a thread like, no, you're not cutting us out of the deal where we put all this work in with Vergil Ortiz and then not get the credit for the end result, which is a standpoint that I can understand. I'll give you a final analogy. If you were in the kitchen from sun up, like 6 a.m., and it was like a group project or you and your family members, you were all working on the Thanksgiving meal. And then you get in an argument with your mom, and then she exiles you, and it says you can't eat none of the food that you helped prepare. I mean, who's gonna go for that? Like, I've been sweating. I put in just as much work, if not more work, to prepare this meal. But then now, because of some friction, I don't get to eat. Because let's be real, none of Vergil Ortiz's fights will have been bigger than what the boots fight can be, right? So with that being said, you get to the main course where everybody should be able to at least make some money. It'll be Vergil's biggest fight. And then somehow in the 11th hour, you get cut out of that. Again, it's like being in the kitchen all day and suddenly you can't eat and can't join the festivities. I'll be hot. Let me know what you think. I'll keep you guys updated. Friday, check back on the channel because there'll probably be an update after this court date.